it's hard for me to, and I've had a chance to look at, it's hard for me to understand why it was ruled the way it was ruled. And if it is ruled that way, then why wasn't it slowed down? Just to make sure that we have this right. That would have made a lot of sense to me, to make sure that we have this thing right, because that's a pivotal play in the game. We have the ball at the 20, maybe kicking a game-winning field goal right there. So I'll just leave it at that. But I'm saying it because I'm standing up for Buffalo, damn it. I'm standing up for us. Because what went on is not how it should go down, in my estimation. That play, these guys spent 3 hours out there playing football, pouring their guts out, to not even say, hey, let's just slow this thing down. That's why I'm bothered.
That was McDermott after the game. Then, from the plane, he called Jay Skursky of the Buffalo News for a highly unusual pool report. It was basically an interview. He called the guy up and he said, I've now seen the pool report from referee Carl Cheffers. I've looked at the play some more. The play is not even close. That's a catch all the way. He's dancing on the line of a fine. I don't think he's going to be fined. I think he stopped short. I don't think he cares. Yeah. But he did say what he had to say, and I think that's all that they can say about it. The issue continues to be the process. I believe that in isolation, if we look at only the rules, it was a good interception. But if we look at what Mark Butterworth said December 7, it was a catch.
Right.
So that's where McDermott stands on it.
Well, there's just a base level of, if you're playing in the backyard or whatever, if you catch the ball and you hit the ground and somebody takes it away from you while you're on the ground, that's not an interception. That's not how it goes down. That's not how you play football. That's not what it is. And that's basically what he's saying. And that's what we're all saying out there. We're going, wait, one guy had two hands on the ball. He hit the ground. The other guy just was touching it and had no grip on the ball. And we gave the guy that was just touching it the ball? What? And then it was the exact opposite call the other two times earlier in the year. So that's the problem.
But the point is, the rules say you've got to maintain possession. If you're going to the ground, you've got to maintain possession through the act of going to the ground. That is the reasoning if it's applied consistently. I'm fine with it if that's what they decide the rule is going to be. Yeah. And there was a catch last night by Davante Adams where that same thing came up, and I started hearing from Bills fans. Davante Adams was not going to the ground. That one does not fit. If you want to focus on one, focus on Aaron Rodgers and focus on what Mark Butterworth said and focus on the fact that he wasn't involved in the review of last
Here's the Davante Adams one. Davante Adams catches the ball, right?
He's up and then he's down. He gets hit. He wasn't going to the ground as he caught the ball. So that's not, Bills fans, this is not going to help your argument. Aaron Rodgers' catch does. Now, the separate point that you wanted to get to, and this gets into the flow of a game, what's allowed during a game, when the flags are going to fly for pass interference. Pass interference is a very subjective call. But, you know, we hear all the time, let them play. In a big game, let them play, which means let them break the rules and not throw a foul.
Right.
But
they let them play the whole night.
We saw, and this is the key.
Nothing's called.
Late in regulation, the Bills are trying to win the game. And Brandon Cooks, in my view, was clearly interfered with by Riley Moss.
Right.
He grabbed his arm and kept him from getting to the ball.
Right.
This, to me, should have been spot foul. Bills in position to score a touchdown to win the game and not kick a field goal and force overtime. Riley Moss grabs his arm and and Gene Steratore came on and said that's a good no call. Bullshit. He grabbed his arm and kept him from getting to the ball. How is that? In what world is that not pass interference?
No, I get it. Now, listen, when it happened during the game at this point, I went, okay, they haven't called this all game. So I was okay with it at this moment. I was going, this is fine. I've seen already 10 plays like this where they weren't called. Right? When we saw even a little before this, there's a jersey pull and then, of course, grabbing his hand. And, yeah, it would have taken a really good catch on the sideline by Cook. But his momentum, again, people are too easily taking it for, like, granted. We're like, if I do this, you do this. You're not going to run 4-4. Yep. You're not. You're going to slow down.
Riley Moss's whole body position and demeanor was classic. I've been beaten. Hold on for dear life and try to keep the guy from catching the ball, and whatever happens, happens.
So, but at that moment, I'm going, okay, that's cool. I'm okay with that. They've been consistent not calling that today. They've been letting them play, like you said. So I went, all right, that's
I still
cool.
don't like letting them play,
I hear
but
you.
I want them to be consistent.
But you
if
want
they
to be
do.
consistent. So now let's go to overtime, right, guys? And let's see these next two plays. So now we're going to see a play and a pass interference here on Teron Johnson, where I go, this is less egregious than what we just saw from Riley Moss. This was like some hand swatting. I mean, it's hand swatting. I mean, I don't know. Is Cortland Sutton hit him harder than Teron Johnson hit Cortland Sutton? And they call PI there? And you haven't done that the whole game. And now we're going to call ticky-tack little touch foul? That's pitiful. That is pitiful. So this has not been called. You didn't call that for Buffalo at the end of the football game. And now you're going to call this in this moment? Yeah, don't agree with that at all.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.